Meditation doesn't promise peace. That is a American story, a new American story, that if you meditate, you attain lasting internal peace. What it does give you is awareness. I'm gonna set my insight timer here, a meditation app. Meditation is deciding what to do with your attention, and when you find you can't keep it there, putting it back. All right, well, I'm gonna ring a bell. We'll sit silent for 30 minutes. We'll see you guys then.
More than a decade ago, psychologist Tucker Peck turned to meditation to learn how to be still.
So I went into my first class. I tried to sit quietly, and I noticed that my hands would not stop moving. And I thought, I need to learn to meditate until my hands stop moving. And they haven't stopped moving, but what has changed is I can now tell you exactly why they're moving.
Today, Tucker teaches others how to meditate. And in that, he faces competition from his smartphone.
Everybody wants to get something for nothing. Everyone would like to be more aware, more peaceful. The modern interpretation of meditation, you know, the happy person sitting in yoga pants on the beach with an attractive partner sipping tea. Everyone would like that. We would not really like to invest any time or effort in that. So the idea of the phone is in your pocket, it costs nothing, just push the button and you're meditating, I think that really is an attractive way to get started.
You know, the science of meditation apps actually started a good, I guess, 4 years ago, 5 years ago now. And the reason that researchers have an interest in meditation apps is because they see meditation apps as the way that we're going to make meditation accessible to many, many more people.
Meditation apps are now more accessible and more popular than ever. Programs like Headspace, Calm, Insight Timer, and others are booming, earning millions in revenue and in users every month. Everyone wants what scientists now know that meditation can provide.
In our lab here at the University of Arizona and in prior work at Emory University, we found that meditation, in particular compassion meditation, may have a benefit on inflammation that we can measure in blood samples and cell samples. So the benefits of this practice filter down to all these other important health-related endpoints that we're interested in. Things like stress hormones, things like blood pressure.
Hi, and welcome back to the basics and to session 4.
I'll just turn the app on and set my phone down on the couch or on the bed next to me, and then just go through the process as they talk you through it.
Just taking some nice big deep breaths.
Beth Nelson started using a meditation app on doctor's orders to help treat the anxiety disorder she's lived with since she was 16 years old.
How I always described my anxiety was that my brain just took a thought and kind of ran around in a circle with it. It's kind of like in cartoons when they'd run around in a circle and you'd sort of get the hole in the ground where at the end of it you'd just see the tops of their heads or like ears. And my brain would just take a thought and hang on to it real tight and just run around. Even if that thought was not helpful to me, was not important to the situation I was in, was not even relevant, was not something that could even really happen sometimes. I would just kind of opt out of doing things. My friends would invite me places, they'd invite me to go on trips with them, and I would just, I'd say no and pretty much always cite my anxiety as the factor for, I'm sorry, I can't.
It's okay to allow thoughts to come and go. All we need to do is to sit back and observe the traffic of the mind.
Learning how to meditate and using the Headspace app has given me techniques to be able to take a step back and to kind of stop that circular thought pattern of this is going to be terrible and I can't do anything about it.
Right now, though, all you need to do
Using a meditation app changed Beth's life. But experts say it's too soon to tell how common her experience is. Only a handful of studies have tested meditation apps and their benefits. So far, most have shown the apps have the potential to reduce stress and increase well-being. But very few have compared them to training in person, which comes with its own unique perks.
If you take an intro to meditation course, you have to show up because you paid for it When you get there, the teacher's going to ask you if you did the meditation, and they'll still like you if you didn't, but the amount of accountability that comes from being in a group, I don't think you can replace through the apps.
But apps can be a beacon and a doorway for those who want to improve their lives with meditation and can't do it the traditional way.
When you've addressed everything else you can think of, and you still don't feel right, there's nowhere to turn but inside. The apps allow you to get guidance in meditation from the world's most skilled teachers, you know, in your closet with the door closed where nobody has to know you're doing this. There's no one around to judge you.
I don't think if my therapist had originally suggested, like, hey, I think you should go and do a class and do meditation, I don't think I probably would have done it. At this point, I feel like I could definitely manage that, but the app made it super accessible at a time where it wouldn't have been otherwise.
Now equipped with a tool that has helped her heal, Beth Nelson is setting out to help others heal too.
Presently, I'm going to nursing school, which was something that for a while, even after I applied, I wasn't sure if it would be possible for me to do. Meditation is kind of like sitting at the side of the road and letting things go by, and not trying to get out and grab onto the bumpers of the cars and prevent them from going somewhere. It's work sometimes, like you have to put in a concentrated effort, but it's very worthwhile.